Hey there, friends. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day. We got up to a little bit of snow this morning, but it was gone super quickly, and then we had a power outage, so we've had kind of an adventurous kind of day. I've got a couple new journals to go in the shop. This is, I tell you guys, this is some of my favorite fabric ever. There's something about the swirls that I find very soothing. Almost a Tim Burton-ish kind of vibe with this without the dark elements to it because it's a beautiful blue, kind of an ocean blue. I just really do love this fabric. I finished it off with some hand-rolled paper beads. I'm crazy about these beads. I think they're so much fun. There we go. We got a good angle on those. These are holographic paper beads made from holographic paper. This is a painty paper bead, and this is handmade paper bead. If you aren't doing paper beads, do it. Oh my goodness, they're so much fun. Jennibellie has a great video about techniques to make paper beads, so do check out Jennibellie's. I think she calls it her Great Big Paper Bead Tutorial or something like that. A rolled paper rose that I made from some text pages, this time from, of course, Inspector Poirot. I love Inspector Poirot, and these books are super fragile, so you have to glue two pieces of paper together to achieve this kind of rolled paper rose. But I enjoy making them. They're not easy, but they sure do turn out really pretty. We have a mystery woman to start off our book. I love her. She's steampunk and has gears and cogs and all kinds of things in her hair. Don't forget about your washi tape down here, y'all. Every pocket has washi tape on it, and even the washi tape that's inspirational, the good life. Maybe you want to talk about the good life in your storybook that we've included for you. I love having a storybook in these journals because even if you're even if you're just telling a story about how you're going to use your journal, then that's a story element. I have lots of papers, some inky papers. I've been having fun with inky papers. My friend Judy gave me this piece of paper, and it has Mickey Mouse on it, and there's a coffee cup right there. And I thought it was really sweet. I love the blue. I thought the blue went really well with the outside of the book. I've got some Valentines for you to make. These are perforated envelopes. So you've got two envelopes here. You can color this little coloring sheet and fold it up and put it in these envelopes and have you two handmade, ready to go Valentines for your sweetie. The sheet music is falling apart, and I have to be super careful with it. This is Little Liza Jane, old sheet music, but it's so pretty. I know that I usually include a whole page for you guys, but just not doable with the state this paper is in. It's very fragile. Such a pretty color. This is the other part of the little Mickey Mouse coffee thing. So cute. A sticker. This is a wooden sticker that says coffee always is a good idea. Like I said, we got up this morning and had a power outage. Such a lovely seashell. Kind of reminds me of summer. And so we went to Cracker Barrel and had breakfast, which is that was a very special occasion for us. And as we walked in, they lit the fire. And oh my goodness, I love to go down there and eat when they have the fire going. I thought, oh, that's just super, super nice to have breakfast by a fire. This is part of a greeting card, and I love the church. I love the flower imagery on it too. I've got some ATCs for you to play with. I thought that these ATCs went so nicely with this palette. You know, you can see those blues really pop in there. And the very pretty gold, the gold washi with the white stars. This is just a pocket full of fun for you. I've got some paper flowers for you to color and put together, or you can spray them and put together. I make these from the inside of envelopes. There's a skinny book for you. Beautiful Tim Holtz vellum. This is a kind of a vellum-ish sort of paper too. This is also cut from a greeting card. What are those flowers? Are they bluebells? I'm not sure. So beautiful. One of my very favorite Christmas ephemera cards. This is just super neat. It's just got such heavy gold on it. Absolutely beautiful. It says best wishes of the season. I am in love with my Christmas card ephemera. I could sit and read it all day long. This says, I love snow days. Not so much. There's a snowman right there, but, you know, try to reframe that snow day into let's pretend it's summer. This is some precious moments ephemera, education ephemera. This is from a teacher's manual that is a mathematics teacher's manual, which I really did. Do they even have teacher's manuals anymore, or are they all online? It kind of made me wonder about that. Here's a little puppy dog, and he's reminding you that you got a secret pocket here with lots of things to play with. This is the rest of the precious moments. This is an owl cut out, and I thought he looked so nice with this green paper. Kind of all went together. A moose. I like the way that he was, that he looks here, because he looks kind of like this is a background and he's walking on ice, like a icy lake or a stream or a pond. The Christmas card is signed Paul, Delia, and children. Have some tickets for you with a pointy finger. I love the pointing finger. Some rickrack that is magenta and green flowers. You can cut apart and use some other different way. My recycle peel and stick Christmas labels. This one says understand. This little kitty cat tells you that there's a pocket full of fun right here. I'm using my Alice in Wonderland ephemera. That book is just so iffy, and I'm doing the best I can to kind of preserve the pages. So I'll show you what it looks like here. And it's an annotated Alice, which to me makes it really very, very interesting. This is the part that Alice finds herself still in existence, and for now the garden. And she ran with all speed back to the little door, but alas, the little door was shut again, and the little golden key was lying on the glass table as before. And things are worse than ever, thought the poor child, for I never was so small as this before. Never. And I declare it's too bad that it is. As she said these words, her foot slipped, and in another moment, splash, she was up to her chin in salt water. This is from the chapter, The Pool of Tears. I've got a little Shakespeare for you. Beautiful illustrations from The Taming of the Shrew. I know we're kind of going back a little bit, but talking about Alice and slipping reminded me of shoes. This is the 1941 Red Cross nursing manual. I thought it was so interesting because it talks about shoes being such an important part to good health. This is how not to take care of your shoes. This is how to take care of your shoes. And just the mention of Alice slipping kind of made me remember that I had this piece, and I just thought it went really well with the Alice ephemera. A weekly timesheet. Beautiful cardinals. A nice shot of a garden on a lake, and places to sit and maybe have tea. Oh, lake living. I would love to live at the lake. This was really pretty, guys. It's horses, and they're drinking from a pond that is kind of got some ice in it. This is a card that you can insert some paper into and make yourself a little mini book out of it. Inky papers, the 1941 ledger sheets that I'm so fond of. This is beautiful. I got a stack of ephemera, and it dates from 1889. Now, this picture does not have a date on it. It does have that it was taken at Wings on Washington Street in Boston, but there's no date on it. It's absolutely just such a beautiful piece of ephemera. It was kind of faded down here. This is a Tim Holtz cabinet holder. So, you know, the holder itself is not vintage, but the photograph is. And I've got a page from a vintage dictionary for you. A baby announcement. The booties fold open and it says, "So glad you're here. Bet Dad's a proud and happy man. Bet Mother's beaming too." They just don't make them like that anymore. I think that is just quite lovely. Shaker ephemera. Carter's ink and mucilage is the advertisement. Do you know what mucilage is? Do you remember that rubber cement that we used to use in school? That's what mucilage is. That's glue. Gosh, I'm remembering like in second grade. Do you remember that when we painted at school that the paint was actually powdered and you had to mix it with water? And sometimes you would get assigned to mix the paint. Boy, was I in my element when that happened. This is another beautiful piece of ephemera from 1913. Mr. and Ms. J.C. Voss in Santa Rosa, California. RFD, Rule-Free Delivery, number 4. I love this envelope because it is opened on the side. It is not opened on the back. When I was a little girl, our family would go on one vacation a year, and we would go to the beach. And I loved the beach. It was such an exciting time, but we never knew if we were going to get to go until Daddy got a check. He owned a company, so of course we were just, I guess it's that paycheck to paycheck thing, right? So we knew that if Daddy got a good check, that we were going to get to go to the beach, and it was going to be super exciting. So we would all gather around, and he would open the envelope right here, and then he would pop it open like this, and then he would blow in it. And when he blew in it, he could see the check. And then we were like, yay, we're going to the beach. It's funny the things that you remember. The baby announcement is signed on the back, Lida's mother, Mrs. Lyon Maxwell. You don't hear this name very much, Lyon, L-I-O-N, as a name. I've got some, I know it's not fall, but the leaves were so pretty with this palette. I just thought it looked so nice together, and I know that you're going to make something beautiful out of that color palette. I've got some fabric pages for you. This is Create a Monument for something or someone close to you. So just a little drawing project for you. Some more fabric to play with. A nice list of words for you to do something with. Some animal stickers from some 1985 ephemera, y'all. I hope they still stick. And we're finishing off the book with a pensive lady. I love this stamp. I think it is just beautiful. It evokes a lot of feelings and memories. I think that she is just quite lovely. So Dream 2 is going in the shop just a little bit later on this afternoon. My next little book is the Peony book. When I was first putting Princess Peony together, the first book that I did with this fabric, I thought these were roses, but they are peonies, and I grow peonies at my house. I'm very hands-off with them, y'all. I don't touch them. I don't look at them, you know. It's like I'm scared to do anything to them. But they bloom so beautifully every single year, and I have like these deep pink blooms. It's such a pleasure to see that. I was walking outside yesterday, and I did notice that the daffodils are starting to come up, and that's always just beautiful to see under my crepe myrtles that the daffodils are popping up through the ground. I finished this off with glass beads. These are check glass beads. I really do love these. Let me see if I can get a little close up on here. It's a cracked glass bead. I love red. So let's take a little peek in here. This is one that you're going to have, just going to have to be careful about the clasp here, because it is it's a metal flower. So just be kind of a little bit careful about your elastic here. And we start off with a beautiful mystery lady and a storybook for you. This is from very old greeting cards, probably 1980. Not that that's old. Well, it's old now. Can't believe it. This is a drawing prompt that encourages you to make that squiggle into something. We have Valentine's for you. Lots of things to make Valentine's with, including fairy stickers that would be quite pretty on this card. And of course you can color something to put on a card and then use the envelopes that are provided here and stick your Valentine in an envelope for your sweetie. I've got a feather here and a handmade feather. These are flowers, envelope flowers for you to make, and there's one to go by so you'll know how to do it. Butterflies. This is a pocket full of how to do an ATC. So you've got 2 ATCs in here. I've got some reinforcements for you, and you can make your own ATC. So that's what this pocket is all about right here. And of course some beautiful border strips. I've got some skinny books for you. I love this. I cut this off a greeting card, and right here it says, I would like to hear from you all. It's like my mission to save as much handwriting as possible. A piece of packaging. I love to use packaging to make tags and bookmarks and things like that. You can take this little piece of packaging and use some of these fibers up here to play with. More shoe ephemera, because this was about health and happiness and home life, was about taking care of your feet. I don't know why I'm on a foot thing, but there we go. Oh, I know, because I read this about Alice in Wonderland. When Alice's right foot, she calls it Esquire. And this is an annotated Alice, and it says, Selwyn Goodacre suspects that when Alice addresses her right foot as Esquire, that Lewis Carroll may have intended a subtle English-French joke. The French word for foot is pied. Its gender is masculine, regardless of the owner's sex. So, more annotated Alice. I'm trying to save as much of this book as possible. Some beautiful Shakespeare illustrations. This is from Taming of the Shrew. Shaker ephemera. This is about boots and shoes with the shaker ephemera. So if you're a shoe person or a boot person, then that's a lot to work with right there. I like this smattering of pink. I thought it was very pretty. Some fall leaves. A bookmark. Somehow or another, this signature turned into a travel signature. This is a part of a travel brochure. You can see some people fishing right here. This is from the great state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia. Vintage ephemera, fishing ephemera from a magazine. I found these fish that were printed in Germany. This was part of a paper doll pack. And it's odd that they have fish in the paper doll pack, but they certainly did. Cracker Barrel ephemera. This is from their almanac. Getting the most out of every tank of gas as you're traveling. I love this. This was the San Francisco travel brochure that gave the 3 different churches in the 3 different styles that you can find in San Francisco. A Gothic style, Romanesque, and a Roman and a Byzantine church. I think it would be so interesting to travel the world and see churches. I love this piece of advertising from an insurance magazine. It is about the things that you have done while you're driving your car. Have you taken a selfie? Have you read an email? Have you plugged an address into GPS? And it's about the dangers of playing with your phone and driving. A travel atlas from Oklahoma City. Some travel stickers for you. I love this transparency. It says the term red line on tachometers in cars. Red line for a special is known as red line. So this is part of a whole piece of transparency that has to do with driving and tachometers and speedometers and engines and things like that. Some Tim Holtz vellum. This was a sweet little skinny book that talks about vacations. So that whole little signature just kind of turned into a travel thing. Bookmarks. I love the swans. So pretty. A portrait from the Chinese family history that I am really digging. and more from the Chinese family history, some beautiful Hebrew text, some Chinese characters that they're hand-drawn on handmade paper. That was just exquisite. This is rays and lines. I think that math is a different kind of language. A piece of sheet music that is English, German, and Latin. I thought that was really cool. 1941 ledger. This is one of the vintage Christmas cards. I just think it's super cool because it's angels, and you don't see this imagery very often. Angels, you can see their wings right here, and they are paddling little canoes, and they have little sails on them. At the top of the sails, they have some holly. It's signed by Clinton V. Bernice. Receipts for you, telephone messages, Spanish flashcards, a wooden heart. I just thought that was very exquisite. A little bit of shaker ephemera. More papers to play with. Some Ziggy! Yay! From a 1985 collection. It started in 1985, so I'm not quite sure what year this was, but I just thought he was in excellent shape. I love Ziggy. Some resist paper here for you. This is it, y'all. This is the end of my 1964 Ladies Home Journal magazine. Boo! The 1942 Red Cross manual that talks about the importance of having a mom and dad raise a child. Health and happiness in home life is the name of the article, the name of the chapter of the book. And the Great American Recipes is about picnics, food for picnics. This is a beautiful greeting card. It says, "To son at Easter from Mama and Daddy." And I thought that went really nicely with the Red Cross nursing manual, Health and Home Life, and the importance of having a mama and daddy. Good, healthy home life. This is Saco, Maine ephemera from 1947. Love the stamp. Some fabric for you, a little bit of pattern paper, and we're ending this with our pensive lady. My effort to save any handwriting I find. This says, "So sorry to hear about Uncle Mike. I'll be thinking about you." I'm going to tuck that right in there. That might be just a piece that inspires you. And we've got Princess Peony 2 going in the shop. These journals are 6 by 6.5 by 4 1/4 by 2 on the spine, and they are just chunky monkeys, y'all. Chunky monkeys. I'll have these in the shop a little later on tonight. Thank you guys so much for supporting my Etsy shop. I really, really appreciate it. Have a beautiful Tuesday evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, y'all. Bye.